What is going on, everyone? It's Jay here. I hope you all had an amazing weekend, and thank you all for tuning back into the channel. And let's jump right into another day trading recap. So today, this is how the Nasdaq looked on the day. I'm gonna go through and explain my thought process and how I was able to end green on the day. I was green. If you guys saw the thumbnail, I was up just over $65 today. Not the best day, but definitely very grateful to end on a green note. And before that, I do want to go ahead and show you guys a momentum stock that went off today because I find them very interesting, and yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys. So just a scanner I always show you guys that I use with my certain preferences I have set, and the one I want to show you guys is ticker symbol AHI. It's that second one right there, and this one was pretty much the top gapper on the day in terms of how it traded throughout the day while the market was open, because that top stock right there, ATHX, if I show you it quick, it didn't have as much volume today, right? It just opened up really quick after it shot up huge in the pre-market. But in terms of what actually got traded, this is ticker symbol AHI, and the percentage on these momentum stocks are very attractive, right? Any person would say that there was potential to make around 115 120% from kind of right around where the market opened up to highs of the day. That is absolutely insane, and I just want to go ahead and show you guys why I think this stock went off. If you look at the stock on a 180 day, basically looking at it in terms of how it's been doing long term, obviously it's been a pretty dead stock, relatively just very dead, right? It hasn't been trending anything crazy up or down. It's been just kind of trading right around here at 60 cents for a long while, and right after that, as you guys can see, what caused this to absolutely go off on the day, if you guys noticed, 8-26, this was on Friday, August 26th, right? And the stock finally broke above the SMA line after it's been trending below it by a decent amount for a long while, right? It's been bearish, it's just been downtrending. And right after, on Friday, it was able to cross the SMA line and have a nice day, right? Because it did cross this line just like it did before, and it had a nice pop. And today was no different than that. The stock ended up coming back all the way down here in the pre-market. It bounced off of the SMA line. It confirmed it as a support. And right when it broke this general kind of resistance area is why I believe it went absolutely ballistic. That's where it ended up soaring like almost 100% from that critical area. And yeah, that's why, in my opinion, that the stock was able to go off, because it did trend above the SMA line. It validated it as a support to bounce off of, and not only did it do that, but it also broke that resistance area. It got rejected. It got rejected here a couple times before when it tried to trend above the SMA line and really go. So that critical area broke, and that's what caused it to absolutely go off on the day. So that is my recap for that. And in terms of the Nasdaq, how was I able to make money on it today? As you guys can see, this was right around when the market opened up at 6:30 in the morning, kind of right around here. And what I wanted to do was take a TQ's position right when the market opened up, because of where the Nasdaq was trading pre-market. So this was leading up until the market opened right around here at 6:30 in the morning, and all of this pre-market, even since yesterday, as you guys can see, it was doing an amazing job of holding this general support area right around here, right? Anytime it would come back down to this general area, it would try and kind of bounce off of it and go a little or a lot. You know, sometimes it did have a nice bigger little play. But ultimately, it did find a support up here constantly leading into the market open, which is why I decided it would be in my best interest to follow that trend and take a starter trade on TQs. So right around here, as you guys can see, there's a bar right here. It ended up flashing back down when the market opened up and bounced off the SMA line, this general area, like it has been doing. So I decided to take a quarter of my position on TQs, and as it went, as you guys can see, here's my first trade. As it started trending up, I decided to average up with my other 3/4 of the position size. And something I've been doing different that I've even done today and last week when I was paper trading while my brother traded real money is me and him have been talking a lot, and we definitely think that where we go wrong a lot is waiting too long to average up. I don't know if any of you guys can relate to that, but I feel like me and him would always buy in with an initial position size, and as it started going and kind of broke these resistance areas, we would look to average up fully. But in my opinion, that isn't the best idea, because if it did start going south, we wouldn't cut it. There wouldn't be a smart area to cut it, right? Because if we did want to cut it, it would only make sense to cut it all the way back down here if it broke that support again. But if we ride even this little move all the way down, fully averaged up, that could be a pretty penny that I don't want to risk, right? So I did take a initial position size right around this area. It's tended to bounce, and I averaged up right when I saw it start going. So I made sure to average up quicker, because if you average up quicker, I can wait until a smarter area to give back my profits, right around here, instead of being like all the way up here averaging up and waiting for a huge sell off until I locked in or sold for a loss, right? So I fully averaged in, and I didn't want to get too greedy because I had no idea how high this was gonna go, right? If you guys look at the Nasdaq in the past 5 to 5 minutes, it's clearly obviously been selling off very aggressively. So even though it did try and find some consolidation around here, I wasn't gonna get greedy and try and ride this all the way up, right, to the previous areas it's been high, because it has been so bearish recently. And because it has been bearish recently, I'm looking for it. I'm watching out. I'm on the lookout for lower highs it can form, right? It went up to here and got rejected and ultimately couldn't pass that. But it could have even trended up to here, right? Broken above the top view up, but it could have still found a lower high anywhere here, which is why I didn't want to get greedy, and I did lock in my profits. So my first trade, I did average up, and it was green. I didn't make anything crazy. I was up like $45, and I ended up making the other right around $20 on the day, just basically paying attention to the lows of the day, the lows right around here, and the highs of the day. And the Nasdaq did not want to break this top view up, this kind of critical area it's forming as a resistance all day, right? It tried 3 different times. Once here, sold off, came back up, briefly just barely broke above it, but ultimately got rejected by the top view up, and once again up here. So it was a very strong resistance, and as you can see, there's a pretty strong support level. Sorry, I can't talk today. Pretty strong support level down here. So once the Nasdaq finds very critical resistance areas and support areas, it's very smart, in my opinion, to just look to take trades kind of leading in between this area. So if it approaches anywhere down here, it would be smart to take a position, a quarter of a position, and average up as it's going on its way up. And I would definitely look to lock in anywhere near this top V. Well, I probably would lock in somewhere closer to here to be really safe. But it would be pretty naive to think that it has to break this level and keep going, right? Because it's been validating this resistance. So in my opinion, it would be smarter to load off shares around here. And maybe just since you know it commonly gets rejected around here, after you locked in profits, look to get in the other direction. You could have bought to SQs anywhere here out of the 3 times and averaged up, as it did confirm that it wanted to fall again. And you could do your part in deciding where you would lock that in, whether it's at the middle VWAP above the SMA or all the way down here if you're trying to get a play all the way towards the bottom VWAP. So that's just it, guys. I just wanted to show you guys that the Nasdaq today was trading mostly sideways. It was consolidating between this area. So make sure when you're trading the Nasdaq to try and identify the highs and lows of the day, and take trades where you feel the margin is going to be worth it, right? It wouldn't be smart for me to try and take a TQ play all the way up here, because it's tended to get rejected up here, right? Just like it wouldn't be smart for me to want to take an SQ's play all the way towards the bottom down here, right? Because the margin wouldn't be worth it. If I decided to get into SQs right here thinking it was going to fall, there's not much for it to fall, right? Only like 0.6%, because it's a triple leveraged ETF, so it would be 3 times that. So it wouldn't be smart for me to try to think it's gonna fall and get in my first position right around here, right? Because it's a low point of the day where it tends to bounce and go the other direction. So just keep that in mind, and make sure, yeah, just pay attention to that and get in when you think it's smart, and make sure to always weigh that risk to reward and make sure that the margin of profit is always going to outweigh the risk that you put on the line with your capital. So yeah, thank you guys all so much for watching. Me and my brother are very blessed that you've all been tuning in again, and we're very blessed that our channel has been growing, even if it's slowly. And yeah, that's just it. Thank you guys all so much, and I will see you all tomorrow.